Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Gagaga Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for December 2022. Picked up some more of the cards needed for the Gagaga deck. I'd say I was missing them from the last profile. There are a lot of different Gagaga cards being, Yuma's main deck in the series. I overlooked a few of them, but finally got them for the updated version of the deck from the last video. The deck focuses on just being able to adjust the levels of your many different Gagaga monsters to go into many different Xyz monsters for the X deck, including all the different Gagaga monsters we have and some of the other number monsters, including some of the Zexal monsters that Yuma ran in the series. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the Gagaga monsters, I am running 2 copies of Gagaga Magician. You really only need 2 copies of this card. 1 may even be enough. Once per turn, you can declare a level from 1 to 8, and this card becomes that level till the end phase. You can only control 1 face-up Gagaga Magician, and this card cannot be used as a synchro material. So you only have Xyz monsters in the X deck, so you don't really have to worry about that last part of the effect. But being able to adjust the level of this card also helps with some of the other monsters that we run in the deck to adjust their own levels to match up with Gagaga Magician. I also run the 1 Gagaga Girl. It's really all you need along with her as well. You can target a face-up Gagaga Magician you control, and this card's level becomes the level of that monster. And an XYZ monster that was summoned using this card, and only this card and another Gagaga monster gains this effect. When it's Xyz summoned, you can target a special summon monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes 0. So being able to adjust the level of Gagaga Girl along with Gagaga Magician means that you can at least go for any of the rank Xyz monsters that you can make with Gagaga Magician, going all the way up from level 8 and being able to go all the way down to level 1. The lowest thing we run in the extra deck is rank 2, so we can go from 2 to 8 with all these different plays we have. I also run 3 Gagaga Child with this card. If you control a Gagaga monster other than Gagaga Child, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when you do, you can target 1 Gagaga monster you control with a different level than this card. And this card's level becomes the level of that monster. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this, but it's the setup to go for once again easily with Gagaga Magician, being able to adjust that level with this card. You don't get the additional effect of Gagaga Girl along with it, but this card is just a one-of for that play because it's just an additional help to get over some pesky special summon monsters your opponent may have. Now for the next lineup, I have potentially three Gagaga Sister. Another card I do want to run is Gagaga Head. I know this is still a manga promo that needs to be reprinted, so if you don't have this card available, you can always just run Gagaga Sister. With Gagaga Sister, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Gagaga spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and you can target 1 other Gagaga monster you control. The level of that monster and this card become their combined current levels till the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Gagaga Sister once per turn. So having a search for our many different Gagaga spells in the deck is very, very useful, but also being able to adjust levels based on combining them gives you access to bigger monsters on the field when we have, let's say, just lower level Gagaga cards on the field to begin with. With Gagaga Head, it gives you a special summon option for your other Gagaga monsters in the graveyard, and also giving you draw power. If you were to run both copies of this card, if you wanted to increase the number of Gagaga Sister, you could always drop down the number of Child to 2 and put in a second Gagaga Sister for that number. I also run 3 copies of Gagaga Clerk. With this card, if you control a Gagaga monster other than Gagaga Clerk, you can special summon this card from your hand. And more special summon options with this card on the field. It works very, very well with the combined level option of Sister, because then you can combine the levels together and have rank 4 thanks to Gagaga Sister and Gagaga Clerk on the field. And I also run 2 Gagaga Mancer. With this card, once per turn, you can target a Gagaga monster in your graveyard except for Gagaga Mancer. Special summon it, and if you do, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for Gagaga monsters. If this card is detached from Xyz material and sent to the graveyard, to activate the monster's effect, you can target 1 face of Xyz monster you control, and it gains 500 attack to the end of this turn. So you're only able to use Gagaga monsters with this card, but being able to boost the attack of those Gagaga monsters at least gives us more of a power play to use with this card, and being able to also summon out just another Gagaga monster that we can even just potentially adjust the levels with this card. And for some of the other support, aside from the Gagaga cards that we run, I run 3 Utopic Onomatopoeia. It's always treated as a Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo card. And during your main phase, you can special summon up to 1 of each Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dododo monsters from your hand in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon from the X deck except Xyz monsters, which isn't really a problem with this deck, but being able to access the Gagaga monsters along with the other ones, which are Zubaba Babancho, Gagaga Coat, and Dododo Dwarf, Gogogo Glove, above, counting as the names for the other cards, giving you more of a special summon option with both of these cards and being able to count as the names for Onomatopoeia in the deck. That is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I'm running 3 Onomato Pickup. When it's activated, you can add 1 Onomato card from your deck to your hand, except for Onomato Pickup. And you can target a Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until end of turn. So this is the one card I like to run additionally with the Gagaga Clerk. Otherwise, Clerk would just be a special summon onto the field, and you wouldn't really have a resource to use with this card. But being able to at least have another monster on the field, summoning out the Gagaga Clerk onto the field with that Gagaga monster, can at least use Onomato Pickup to adjust the levels and use the 2 of them to overlay into the proper ranked Xyz monster. I also run the 3 Onomato Pyra. This could be a card that can be searched off of Pickup, and you can only activate 1 per turn. You send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to add up to 2 of these monsters from your deck to your hand. You cannot add 2 of the same category, but you can add a Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo monster, and with it you can go for any of the Gagaga monsters, then any of the other monsters that I specified after the Gagaga monsters. For some of the lower numbers, which is easy because they can be searched off of Gagaga Sister, 2 Gagaga Bolt. If you control a Gagaga monster, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. It's just an easy destruction card. You can even just go for the Gagaga Sister play, adding this card, and then you just have a destruction of 1 pesky card on your opponent's field. I also run the 2 Gagaga Wind. You special summon 1 Gagaga monster from your hand as a level 4 monster. Being able to summon it as a level 4 monster gives you some access to other cards in your hand. Let's say you didn't have the play to use. You can go for the normal summon of Gagaga Magician, activate Gagaga Wind, summoning out Clerk off of the spell instead of Clerk itself, because then you can adjust the monster to a level 4 and have that other Xyz play to use. And I also run for some of the 1-ofs for the deck. The 1 double or nothing for the Utopia play. It still comes in handy for an additional power up boost as a finishing attack for a monster. Gagaga Revenge, another search for a Gagaga card, and it gives you a special summon of a Gagaga monster from your graveyard back into the field. Gagaga Draw for banishing 3 Gagaga monsters from your graveyard to draw 2, and also 1 Reinforcements of the Army, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Change of Heart. Depending on the level of monster you take from your opponent with Change of Heart, can be very useful because then you can just use it as your own resource and adjust your level of some of your other Gagaga monsters on the field to match it and overlay with it. And for the traps, the only trap that I run in the deck is just a hand trap of choice, that being Infinite Impermanence. I stuck to mostly the Gagaga, Gogogo, Dododo, and Zubababa monsters for the main deck, so just having an additional card to negate the effects of an opponent's card on the field is why I chose Infinite Impermanence over anything else. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 1 Gagaga Samurai, 1 Cowboy, and 1 Gagaga Magician. You have the burn damage attack gaining with Cowboy, Samurai being able to have a Gagaga monster attack twice, and with Gagaga Magician being able to detach 1 from this card to target a Xyz monster in your graveyard except for Gagaga Magician. Special summon it and negates effects. You can only use this effect of Gagaga Magician once per turn, and a Utopic Future Xyz monster that has this card's material gains this effect during the main phase, being able to detach 2 from this card to target 1 Xyz monster you control until the end of this turn, change its attack to 4,000, but negate its effects. So this can help with the Utopic Zexal play that we also do run in the deck, just being able to summon out another Xyz monster and overlay the 2 together into the Utopic Zexal card. Since it doesn't need a number monster, you'll use the Gagaga monsters the majority of the time to summon out that card. I also run the 1 number 60 for discard draw power, Volcasaurus for the burn damage, and also the number 38 for some additional number monsters I run on the deck for different ranks that you can go into, adjusting your levels for your Gagaga monsters to summon them out. And I also run the 1 number 39 Utopia, the 1 Utopia double to search out the double or nothing, the Utopia the Lightning for the bigger attack play that you can do with them. And for more of the generic Xyz, 1 Dark Rebellion, along with 1 Sky Cavalry Centauria, and also 1 number 39 Utopia Beyond, and the 1 Divine Arsenal Zeus, being able to overlay Zeus on a good majority of the cards after they attack, or even just having bounce power with Centauria, or attack overpower with Dark Rebellion, and then the rank 6 options with Utopia Beyond. The last Xyz monsters are just the Draco Future and the Utopic Future. The Draco Future was just recently reprinted in the Crystal Revenge set, making it a little easier to access for people wanting to build this deck. And then as for the Goto Plays in the deck, it all comes down to just what you can open up for your Utopia monsters and also your Gagaga support to go into. If you have the play, you can normal summon out your Gagaga head as just a normal monster with level 4. If you control no monsters, being able to normal summon out without tributing makes it a level 4 monster. And then when it's normal summon, you can target up to 2 Gagaga monsters in your graveyard except for Gagaga head. And also you cannot special summon for the rest of his turn except for Xyz summon. And they can only use Gagaga monsters as those materials. But head can then summon out your other go-to cards like Gagaga Magician, or even whatever you have in your graveyard to use as that resource, since the 2 Gagaga monsters in your graveyard do not have their effects negated, so you can use them as the additional Xyz search. Being able to summon these 2 out in the field gives you the adjusted level I spoke of before. Being able to activate Gagaga Magician, Gagaga Girl can copy that level, and then you can go for the Xyz monster of choice using those 2 monsters on the field. You can have the search power with cards like Gagaga Clerk and Gagaga Sister, being able to normal summon out Sister, and then activating her effect to search out the proper Gagaga spell. If your opponent just has 1 pesky card on the field, you can use Gagaga Bolt to destroy that card and summon out Clerk with its own special summon, combining the 2 levels together, can then give you your Xyz play into either your Gagaga monster, which your Gagaga Magician can then special summon back another Gagaga that you already, let's say, had in the graveyard, overlaying the 2 together into your Utopic Future and then your Utopic Draco Future, having the additional card effect to give it 4,000 attack to use. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's a really awesome deck, and like I said, we may get some more support for the future, but I wanted to update it with the cards I missed from the last deck profile for the Gagaga cards we had. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.